Get it done on the Hill. Perhaps we can find some common ground right here on Fox News at Night. So let's bring in Congressman Andy Biggs, Republican from Arizona, and Congressman Raja Krishnamoorthi, Democrat from Illinois. Thank you both for stopping in.
Thank you. Good to be with you.
So tonight, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell tells our Chad Pergram, who is over there on the Hill as well, quote, "I think constructive talks are underway." Congressman Biggs, what would it take to get your vote at this point?
Well, I think we need to keep $5 billion in there. I mean, that's less than 1/2 of the total budget of just this 25% bill we just did. And we need the border wall. We just have to have a border wall because border security is imperative.
But knowing that Democrats won't vote for that.
Well, I don't know that yet. They're saying that.
We'll ask one who's sitting right next to you about that.
He didn't vote for it in the House. But this is, when they say they want border security, I want to know what the heck they think border security is. I live down in Arizona. I'm down at the border. I know what border security looks like. I talk to Border Patrol agents. I talk to ranchers who live on the border. I talk to people who live on the border, and they want a wall. And we know that when San Diego and the Isidro port, when that was created, they'd cut down illegal alien crossings by 85%. We know walls work. And I don't know why, if you say you believe border security, why we don't do this.
Okay, so let's ask, Congressman, we have seen the statistics that show in these areas, and walls won't work everywhere geographically and you know, topographically and all that's not going to work. But if you are for border security, what does that mean for you? What will you vote for?
Well, I think we would, you know, look, we're a nation of immigrants. We're also a nation of laws, and we Democrats believe in enhancing the border security as well. But as Congressman Will Hurd, a Republican from a border state of Texas, explained the other day, we need smart border security. You know, a lot of undocumented immigrants in this country fly over on airplanes and overstay visas.
Yeah.
And let's talk about ways to deal with this in a smart way. This is not effective. And by the way, Mexico is not paying for it. The taxpayers of America are paying for this. Okay. That's not fair.
Regardless of who pays, what physically would you agree to at the border?
I definitely think that there's probably some room for, you know, maybe repairing certain barriers, maybe talking about fencing in certain areas. But, you know, this type of wall concept is not going anywhere. But let's hash out a deal to enhance border security. Let's get the government funded. Right now, 54,000 DHS, Department of Homeland Security, Customs and Border Patrol agents are not going to be paid during the holidays. That's not right if we really care about border security.
Well, and to that point, the woman who will likely be the next Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, tweets this: maybe real Donald Trump and House GOP can't imagine living paycheck to paycheck like most Americans, but the Trump shutdown will force nearly 800,000 federal employees to go without pay right in the middle of the holidays. And to be clear, the vast majority of them are going to be paid back. But again, if you are on a tight budget, Congressman, how do you respond to that? She says most Americans. I don't know that most are living paycheck to paycheck, but for those who are, it's tough.
Yes, let's be honest. A significant number of Americans do live paycheck to paycheck. Nancy Pelosi is not one of them, by the way. But I actually talked to a union official for the Border Patrol Association a week ago. I said, if it comes to shutdown, he said, look, we're out there doing our job because that's what we commit to do. And we want to be there. And we need to have boots on the ground, and we're willing to do it. And by the way, he said, we want a wall. We're Border Patrol agents. We want a wall. You know, and when we start talking about drones and technical gear, they have that. We already have that. What we need is a wall, a physical barrier, so it forces people to go to places where we can actually interdict them and catch them. That's why this is so critical.
Okay, Democrats in the past have voted for packages that had way more than $5 billion in them for border security. A lot of people say it's a rounding error for, you know, the federal government. Why the dig in over $5 billion?
Well, like I said, I mean, that $5 billion has been dedicated for the purpose of a wall. Let's talk about the right number. Let's hash it out. I'm a former small businessman. We shouldn't be shutting down the government. We should be negotiating. We should be talking right now. And if President Trump is listening, I think that, you know, I hope that he's reaching out to folks and talking to them about how do we get past this shutdown now.
Yeah, and it sounds like from what Chad's telling us that the leaders are working with the White House now to try to come up with something because the Senate has said they won't vote on anything. They don't know that the president's already agreed to, so they're on a bunch of show votes. That's kind of the deal they've reached now. But compromise-wise, what did the two sides do to get to a solution? It sounds like the White House is backing off of $5 billion, but what number could you agree to?
Well, I know that, you know, Senator Schumer put forward a number the other day. You have to remember, just 3 days ago, Senate Republicans and Senate Democrats unanimously passed a clean continuing resolution so that we could further discuss this issue of enhanced border security in February, okay? But right now, I think the two sides should come together, choose a number, and let's move forward.
Well, and Congresswoman Pelosi had said you couldn't pass over in the House this $5 billion bill, and I think that's kind of why the Senate voted the way that they did. But you all recognizing that February, you're not going to have any leverage, at least not on the House side. So where do you go tonight? Right.
Well, the reality is we're not going to get a wall if we don't do it now. I mean, that's just the reality, because the Democrats have made it clear. Pelosi's made it clear. Schumer's made it clear. It's going to cost $25 billion. I would have started at 25 and worked down to 5, but we started at 5, and the number that Senator Schumer keeps putting out is 1.6, 1.3. We're at 5.7 now, and I'm just telling you, I wonder, have they been down to the border? Have they seen what goes on? I invite my colleague to come down. I'll take him to the border.
We'll come with you.
Yeah, I'd love to have you come.
Trip.
I'd love to have you come.
Yeah.
I'll show you the places where they caught 64 people yesterday, where there's a single strand. I mean, this is really critical, and it's national security.
All right, Congressman, thank you both for stopping in, and we wish you Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a solution for America. Thank you.